So communion in a house church will look a little bit different from a traditional church. So in a traditional church, you've got your bread, which you break, and then you take a little bit of that off and you eat it. And then you're encouraged to consider whether you're worthy of eating and drinking the body of the Lord. And then you have the juice. Normally it's grape juice, which is symbolizing the blood of Christ, but I've only got orange juice, so we'll use this. And you take a little bit of that, and that's it. That's generally how communion goes in a traditional church service. It may go for a little bit longer. There'll possibly be a message that goes along with it, but that's about the extent of communion. In the home church though, it's a little bit different, because we read in 1 Corinthians 11 that Jesus, when he was betrayed, he took the bread and he broke it. And he said, "Do this in remembrance of me," which is fine so far. But then in Paul's version of it in 1 Corinthians 11, he adds two key words directly after that. He says, "after supper," which means they broke the bread, then they had a meal together. And then it wasn't until after that that Jesus took the cup and he said, "This is the blood of the new covenant spilled for you." And for us that has huge implications, because it is no longer about just a religious symbol or religious thing that we do. It's actually, we come together, we share a meal together, and for us that is communion. And there is so much greater intimacy when you do it that way. And in the context that Jesus was in, to symbolize the starting of a meal, they broke bread. Now today we don't do that, but we do something similar. We say grace before a meal, and that symbolizes the start of that meal. And at the end of a meal, in the time of Jesus, to symbolize that meal being over, they took some wine and they drank it, and that would say the meal's over now. So for us, again, we don't do anything like that, but we might have a cup of tea or we might have some dessert, and everyone knows, okay, the meal is over now. And so when we have a meal, we talk about Jesus. We remember what he's done. We remember his death, his burial, his resurrection for us, so that we can live in freedom. And it's great. We have fellowship while we do that, and it's a magnificent time of sharing together with everyone.